over 300,000 pounds worth of grass round bales that need hauled to feed the cattle through the winter. They're starting to get hungry. The Chevy Love doesn't have a fifth wheel. It's not quite rated for the capacity of the trailer. So can we get this 1974 International Harvester 500 that runs on propane up and running and use it to haul a 12,000 pound trailer? I don't have my hockey stick with me today. Now that we've got it pulled out of the trees, let's take a look at it. The International Harvester 500 was the heaviest of the lightweight trucks that International made. This is a 1974, and 1975 they were discontinued. This particular Harvester 500 was spec'd with 4,000 pound front axles, 12,000 pound rear axles, with a gross vehicle weight rating of 15,000 pounds. This truck was optioned with the 392 V8, which was the largest engine they offered, making a whopping 190 horsepower. International tended to optimize their designs more for industrial use. As you can see in the cab here, no door panels. Look at these hinges. They're just stout. Watch this door close. Heavy duty. Part of their demise in 1975, the expanding market for trucks was more family units, you know, for comfort, light duty, everyday use. These things were made for doing work. It just wasn't as big a market. The 1-ton series, which is the International 500, was not offered with an automatic. It only came with manual. In the 1970s, there was a fuel crisis, so it was converted to run on propane because it was a lot cheaper at the time. Actually, it ran on propane or gas, and you could switch here, prime it. This truck, it looks like it already has the anti-theft mod, so we should be good there. Sadly, the 500 was not offered in four-wheel drive. Let's see what the oil looks like. You can see some fluid. That's good. The moment of truth in the brake reservoir. It's got fluid left. We should be in good shape. We'll just pour some in there. Let it marinate and forget about it for now. Go ahead and see if the engine turns over. Good enough for me. All right, let's go ahead and throw a battery in here, see what happens. We'll go ahead and steal the battery out of this fuel truck. It's too damn expensive to fill it up anyway. I don't want to ruin my zip tie mod. Pains me to do this, but no Arky Sparky, that's a good sign. Oh, that terminal's broken. This might be a problem. Go ahead and see if it turns over. Let's go ahead and turn on the propane and see if something blows up. I don't know. We'll just turn it all the way on, and we're gonna flip the switch over here to liquid propane. I hear something clicking with the primer button. See what happens. Not sure. All right, this isn't Cosby sauce. It is brake clean. We're just gonna kind of a little bit more, spray some dirt into the engine. I don't think we have any spark. I'm gonna go ahead and have you just put your finger on here while I crank it over.
No.
How in the hell would that ever work? It's just flapping in the breeze, maybe. Ooh, that was too much. Holy moly. Watch it right there. So it's weak spark. It almost seems like I have low voltage or the starter's slow, but I don't have a... Ooh, that's weird. How does this filter come off here? Looks like maybe there's a little screw under this cap. This piece that I thought held down the filter, like a normal air filter on a carburetor. It looks to be some sort of fuel metering device for the propane. It's got the spring, so that it can be adjusted without being all the way tight and still hold its position. Probably shouldn't have messed with it. We'll do like you do on a standard carb for the idle air mixture screw. Usually you come back 1, 2.5. We'll spray brake clean right down that hole. All right, go. All right, give her a little bit of throttle. Ready? Yep. Okay, press the prime button. Okay, that does work. I'm gonna hit the fuel prime button, which pumps propane into there, and we're gonna see if I can get it started from the cab on propane only. Uh-oh. I tap on the starter.
What does the tapping do?
The solenoid sticks. We need to put a set of jumper cables on. There's a vacuum line that goes to the propane regulator over here. And I'm pretty sure that's all it has to know how much throttle you're demanding. Let's see what happens when I open this up. Definitely doesn't like me closing it down. I'm gonna try to give it a little bit of throttle. Now that we got it running right, I can give her the bean, she revs up. All the fluids are topped off. Let's throw some wind in these bias plies. They'll be mint. Bias plies are always mint. They never go bad. Hook onto the bale trailer and let's haul some bales. Doesn't appear to be leaking too much. Let's go ahead and see if we have brakes. Oh.
We have no brakes.
So it is sucking it down. The reservoirs were completely dry, which anytime that happens, you always have to bleed the brakes. We're gonna bleed the front brakes. You don't really need back brakes anyway. All right, we don't have any fluid down below, so I'm gonna try to crack it here and see if we can get some to the line, at least prime the cylinder here. Okay, pump. All right, that one's primed. We've got this weird brake biasing valve up here. I'm gonna try to bleed it. Go ahead and pump and hold. Oh yeah, there we go. Ow. I want to explain to you guys here why we're having so much trouble bleeding the brakes. The first thing is the camera lady was a little bit weak on the pedal. She wasn't. It was coming to. The issue is when these cylinders go completely dry and the lines go completely dry, there's usually some solid buildup that gets in the line. And when you just pour fluid in there and you try to go to bleed them, there's air in the line. So every time you press the pedal, it compresses the air. Then you let go, it springs back. Press the air. It doesn't matter how many times you open the nipple, the liquid's never going to get there. So that's why we had to start at the top, work at these fittings, that fitting, all the way down to the brake. Come on.
Oh, there she goes. Drive fast.
Oh, she's a little rough. Whoa. Felt a little loose. She sounds pretty good winding out though. Definitely not an overlander rig, I wouldn't say. Still got wind. Good old bias plies. I can't see anything through that window.
Oh, it's underneath.
Watch out, I'm gonna have to bump it hard.
Whoa! Perfect.
There we go. He's been sitting overnight. Let's see what we got. No fluid whatsoever. That's not a good sign. Watch the reservoir. That right there is a telltale sign of a bad wheel cylinder. See, it's leaking out of the brake drum. This truck's not even listed. A 1974 International 500. Can't find it on any parts registries. These aren't reverse thread, are they? I could have screwed that up. Come on. Uh-oh. Oh, that's not smart. Oh. Okay, new plan. I'm just gonna leave the wheel seized to the drum here. Okay. There's the actual nut that holds the load against the bearing. Let's see how tight it is. Oh, it's not bad. Big old bearing. Definitely be easier to handle if the tire wasn't attached to it. Oh. That's the leaking wheel cylinder. Real convenient. There she is. So this wheel cylinder does not appear to be available anywhere. We're gonna pop it apart here and see what we're dealing with. Oh yeah, there's some rust in there for sure. Not promising. Okay. The seals don't look too bad. See that rust inside of there? Same on this end. I think if I can hone this, we might be able to get this to work. Hone here that is made for this, I think. I'm not very hopeful this is actually going to work. As you can see right in there, that's actually a low spot. Just hope the plunger lands somewhere other than there. My hopes for this working are about 2.5%. All right, I don't know if this is kosher or not, but I'm going to apply some of this through these gaskets or these seals. Increase my chances of having it sealed. It says it's good up to 500 Fahrenheit. We'll see if I wasted an hour of my life trying that. Got the reworked brake cylinder here. We're going to slam it back on. Hope it doesn't leak. Uh-oh, that bottom one is leaking. All right, I guess I'm going to try to hone the bottom. I think that's as good as I'm going to get it. Just take a second and appreciate that dry rot. Oh, they held some pressure. They weren't holding pressure before.
Oh my god. Are you okay? Oh.
Uh-oh. I think she's out. Out of propane, so let's make a temporary gas tank. I need to make a pickup that goes both inside the tank and outside the tank. As you can see here, this brass will be slightly too big to go through those threads. So before we thread anything together, I need to knock those corners off. All right. Not advise using pliers on plastic fittings. Now we got a fuel pickup. Put a line on there, fuel filter, fuel pump. See that wire has a green death on it.
Okay.
Look at that. That'll work. Okay. This is actually solder for sweating copper pipes. I find it works pretty good on these old, dirty, stinky wires. Nice solid connection. Yeah, see how the green death is clear down inside of the wire there. That's why you can't just strip back and get fresh wire. I should get out my wrench, tighten this down, but I prefer to round that nut off. Now it should crank like a beaut. This filter housing is more complicated than I originally thought. I think it's got some kind of propane fuel mixer, and you can see the cable comes in here and it switches. There's a little thing that slides back and forth. I'm guessing that changes the way the air goes in there. There's a fuel cutoff solenoid, which hopefully it still works because I don't have any fittings to go under there. We're gonna tap fuel right onto this old line. What'll probably happen, I'll hook up gas to this and it'll leak out everywhere because the carb has bad gaskets in it. Son of a diddly. Ooh, my Band-Aid adhesive does not hold up to gasoline. Gross. It's really sketchy, but a little bit of gas right there. That should run it. That should run it. Is this pump screwed up? I wonder if it got gummed up.
Decided
I
that's
did-
your solution for everything. Oh,
Huh?
it's a good solution.
I guess we'll see if it starts. This switch here flips on the solenoid for the fuel shutoff there, right there by the carb. So the key might have to be on for any fuel to get to the carb if it's working. Yeah, it changed. We've got fuel. Can you hear it? Fuel is moving in there though. That means the solenoid works. So it's not just flooding in the carb. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think we might have hydrolocked it. When the fuel bowl sticks, there's nothing to shut off the fuel, and it just will overflow and flood the engine with fuel. You can see there when we turned it over, cylinder filled up with fuel, so it's locked. The stick and float might be as simple as we'll have to take off spark plugs and blow that out. Where's that screwdriver head? Here's the metering valve. I think that's supposed to be opened up. It's just, I think something's a little seized there. Go ahead and take these bolts off. See what's under here. Hell, this is only a 2-barrel. Oh.
Fire!
You have some water?
It's still on fire.
I know.
Jesus.
I got some water. Just calm down. One of my spark plugs must have sparked.
There's still flames there.
Yeah, they're just coming out the spark plug hole.
Should I let it burn?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make this project go faster.
Got a backdraft there, I think. I think there's quite a bit of gas in there. Wow, this is kind of dangerous. I'm scared to put
I know.
fire extinguisher down here. She blew herself out. No, these are the right style. Like that. Wow, it doesn't want to fit over the portion. Alright, that's on. We got the float broken loose, so you can't put gas to it and it doesn't overflow and flood the engine. I've never tried this before, but I'm going to fill the float bowl up with deep creep. Let it marinate overnight. Because I don't have a carb kit for this. Aren't calling it defeat yet.
I wish we would.
I figured it out. The soak on the carburetor seemed to do pretty good. It idles fine, all that. The main issue was the coil was losing power after we got done cranking. I got it wired. I'm going to run a solenoid to the same switch to run the fuel pump. The internet hates that I use a torch on these shrink fit connectors. They're like, Jimmy is in charge. And I did it. I was like, okay. So I bought the little heat gun. And the thing sucks. You sit there. Slow. Way too slow. See, I don't know why people whine about that. We've hauled 3 loads. I burned 5 gallons of gas. We've got 40 loads left to go. So we're gonna call it for this one. But go ahead and check out this video right here. You might like it. Jump in something a little more fuel efficient.